so I want to show you a technique that's really good for opening up the pectoral muscles and the shoulders. I've learned it from Arnaud Gramit, who's a French osteopath who blends osteopathic work with Thai massage. So I learned this originally on a mat on the floor, but I've adapted it for the table. It's what I call the pec pump. And what you're going to do, there's a few ways. I often will use the sheet. And it's a bit of a rhythm where you're going to be pressing into the pec and then using their arm kind of like a leverage, like a machine, like so there's a little bit of a push-pull dynamic. And I'm going to press, pull, and hit release. And make it look really easy. It takes a little bit of time. If you at first struggle with it, be kind with yourself because it does take a little bit of time to get the rhythm down. So you can, right now I'm using the heel of my hand to get basically the belly of the muscle. But then I can start to explore and get some of the insertions. You know, and now I'll show you so that you can see. I often prefer to do it with the cloth. It just takes some of the sensitivity away from the skin. But for now I'll show you so you can see. But then I'm also, through here, beginning to work some of the deltoids. Both pec insertions and also deltoids. And you notice how I switched hands. So I'm going to invite you to try different angles. And then I might even change directions like this. And really pressing underneath where the clavicle is. I'll let you see. Okay. Really helping to open up both the ribs and a lot of the adhesions that can be underneath the clavicle. And it can actually, once you get in a rhythm, it can really be quite relaxing. How's that, Allison? Really nice. You can, even if you want to a little bit, use this same sort of rhythm to open up a little bit the biceps. And lengthen also feels really nice. And the nice thing about this kind of coming in and then letting go, it comes into this edge that's real deep, but then because you've pulled back, the body doesn't guard. So it's a really, really nice way to open up through here. You can even just engage, and even a little bit of lengthening. Engage and lengthen. And I'd also like to show you a little bit of myofascial work, where you can use some of the seated positions similar to what I've shown you with the facing down. So with a lot of people, a lot of tension builds up underneath the clavicle, and that impacts the holding through the chest and into the shoulder. So I'm going to come on in. So I've got a fair share of my weight distributed on the table and then also anchored with my foot. And I'm going to take the tip of my elbow, not pointy, but more flat and gliding. I'm going to come underneath the clavicle. And glide. And then you can grasp her like this. And then you can just gently help create some motion and mobilize. And you can either do that seated. I'm noticing that it may be more comfortable for me standing. And this positioning here is inspired by some of my seated Thai massage explorations, but using it from a different angle to address the front of the body. And, if I get some tension, I can also hold at the elbow. Allison, I want you to gently press into me. Press and release. Good. Again, that's excellent, and release. So that gives you some great ways to open up the pec muscle.